Hi. This is Dr. Stephen with Outclick Magazine. Today, we're excited to talk to David Dech, who is the Executive Director of the South Florida Regional Transportation Authority and our very own Tri-Rail. Dave, welcome to the program today.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Dr. Stephen. It's a pleasure to be on.
Thank you. It's the transportation, the number of people are moving around in South Florida. Tri-Rail has been a staple for a long time. I usually ask people if one person's not heard of Tri-Rail, what would be your elevator speech to tell them what it is?
Well, Tri-Rail was initially open to alleviate some traffic off of I-95 during construction, and we are still doing that. So we try to do it as well as possible. But we are probably the best way to get to any of the international airports. We've got Miami International Airport, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. So there's really a good way. On the weekends we're $5 fares all day. So we are a great way to get around and stay off of I-95.
Stay off of I-95. That's all I heard. That's the main thing. And goes from Palm Beach to Miami, as you said, all three counties.
Correct.
Yep. So the holidays bring a lot of people to South Florida, a lot. In addition to our normally visitors, tell us about why would Tri-Rail be a good fit for people who are visiting and coming for the holidays?
Well, we think we're a cost-effective means to get away. So it depends on where you're traveling from and to. We have a zone fare, but again on the weekends it's $5. But really, if you're traveling into Miami, and I'm new here, so this is these are some new places to me. But if you fly into Miami Airport, you go right down the escalators and it takes you right out to our platforms. If you're flying into Fort Lauderdale, we have a shuttle bus that makes 3 stops at the airport and brings you to our station. If you're flying into West Palm Beach, we have partners with Uber to get you to and from the terminal. So especially if you're traveling in and you're not quite familiar with how to get around in Miami or how to drive in Miami, which I'm learning is a different thing that I'm used to, come and take the train. It's a nice, safe, secure. We're going to get you there. It is, it's driving here is a little different. So, I'm used to my Texas-sized lanes, and they're a little tighter here. But come on, get on the tracks. There's, and really not just Tri-Rail. Tri-Rail, we're a great service, but there's a lot of services here to support you in South Florida, so you don't have to drive a car. You've got Miami-Dade, the buses, and the Metro Mover and the Metro Rail. You've got Brightline. You have Broward County Transit. You've got Palm Tran. You have Tri-Rail. All these different ways not to drive a car, especially if you're not familiar with where you are. And let's face it, if you come in with the holidays and you're going to spend a little time with your family, you might imbibe, you might have a drink or two. Let us do the ride. Let us do the driving. Let us get you there.
Yeah. You jumped ahead and answered all of my questions already. That is the benefits of Tri-Rail. I know, first of all, I've had people who did not have cars and commuted between the two cities for work and used it for work, park and ride in between Miami, Fort Lauderdale. It's a hike every day. And they've done that. As you said, the fares, you've got very low fares for compared to probably even gas prices.
Yeah, I think our fares are reasonable. We try to make it as easy as possible. So we have parking at most of our terminals. So if you don't have a car, if you go onto our website, there's some ride partnerships there that we have with Uber and Freebie and some of the local taxi companies. We also, we have parking if you do have a car. And then, so if you hover over, if you hover over schedules, I think, and there's a drop down, and it shows where there's a ride partners. That takes you to step by step, depending on which station you're going to use, how the partnerships work, where they are, where you can go within the zones. I think this is really handy for someone who either doesn't know their way around or really just frankly doesn't want to drive a car.
I have friends that live in Miami and that live up in Palm Beach. When they come down to visit, they take the Tri-Rail because they can get right there. They can come down and visit. I have a car. And it's a way for them to get around. And like you said, if you don't know the area, it makes it much easier. They're going to take you right there from stop to stop. Obviously, there's always like a little hiccup with the schedule now and then, but I have worked with them enough. That schedule is on schedule pretty tight. You will do a really good job with the scheduling.
We're working on it. We're not perfect, and we never will be perfect, but we really are trying hard. And we're concentrating. I've been here for a couple months, but it wasn't like I came into a place that was fundamentally broken. There was a lot of good work going on, prior to me. There's a great team here. There's great contractors we work with, but so we're concentrating on on-time performance. We're really focusing on trying to improve our rider experience. Listen, we're trying to do better on cleaning the trains. We've got some additional contractors come in cleaning the insides of the train. We have additional people coming in to clean the outsides of the train. We've hired some additional security. So we want people to understand, we want to get you there safely, reliable. We want you to feel safe while you're on the train. We're working really hard on providing a better experience for our customers. And if you've never ridden Tri-Rail, come give us a shot. If you haven't ridden us for a long time, or you have, give us a shot. If you haven't ridden us in a year, come back and give us a shot.
One thing I noticed during COVID, when things were so different, Tri-Rail took advantage of the time to, like you said, clean and refurbish. And I saw so much work done to really push it up and move it up during that time. So I want to say kudos for using a horrible time for the rest of us to work on that and get it built up for the next time. You mentioned, though, the shuttle taxi Uber rides. That's kind of new. If you could tell us about that and what kind of offers for that.
So depending on the station, we have a variety of different partners. So we have partnerships with Uber. We have partnerships with a company called Freebie. We have taxis in Broward County and taxis in Palm Beach County. And if you go on the website, we have zones set up around most of our stations where we can help you get that first mile, last mile. And you see there. So if you're at a station that has an Uber zone, you go to the Uber app. You can download a voucher that goes straight to your Uber app, so you have that, and it'll let you know if your ride is in the qualified service zone. Okay. Same with the Freebie, and then we do have, of course, the shuttles at the Fort Lauderdale Airport, and of course, Miami's so convenient you don't even need a shuttle. But we're really excited about this service. We want to see if it works. We're kind of doing some of it on a trial period. Because we just really want to bring people in and try to make it as easy as possible to come out here and ride our trains.
The South Florida was, like everyone else, quiet during COVID. And I tell people the lights have come back on. And our arts, entertainment, our fun, our travel, our hotels, everything has really come back to life. And it's an exciting time. We are busier than we've ever been. And so I can only imagine, so are you, in all of the services and all the travel, because you get out there and people are ready to come back to Florida. They have been coming back to Florida, come back to see us. They've been cooped up for 2 or 3 years in the cold, and now is the time to come. I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here, and it's probably about 88 degrees in the sun for everyone back in the cold. South Florida is a fun place to be, and now you've got a great option, again, for transportation.
Well, and I'll be honest, Dr. Stephen, you're the last thing between me and a road trip down to the Keys. So come to South Florida. This is a great place. My family and I have been made very welcome here. We've yet to run out of things to do. I think it'll be a long time before we run out of things to do, and we haven't scratched the surface. Yeah. And there are some places, if you go along, like we've got the Yellow Green Market. We're going to be very soon, depending on how you define very soon, we'll be taking people into downtown Miami and giving even more reasons and opportunities to ride Tri-Rail.
Yeah, there's so much, and that hike from us to Miami and us, and this makes it so much easier because it's a little bit of a drive. But Dave, we've really appreciated your time. I know you got a million things to do, but you took time to talk to us today, and we much appreciate it. Is there anything you wanted to cover? I didn't ask.
Well, again, I want to thank you, first of all, for having me on here. This has been a very enjoyable. As I kind of alluded to earlier, if you haven't ridden us for a while, or if you've never ridden Tri-Rail, come on out and give us a shot. Give us a try. I think you'll see the experience and the customer experience is getting a little bit better. We have definitely room to work. We have room to improve. We will always have room to improve. It's never going to be good enough, but we want to keep making it better. We're working hard on our commitment to get into Miami Central, and we are making great progress there, working with our partners at Brightline and the Florida East Coast Railroad, FDOT, FRA. I mean, it's a whole team effort, and I'm hoping here soon to be able to announce a date. We're not quite there yet, so I'm not going to give you a scoop, but we're getting closer, and really want to, here in the next month or so, be able to start telling people when they can start making plans to ride Tri-Rail into Miami.
into Miami even more so. So we talked about that a little bit. So to be determined, but definitely in the works.
Definitely, most definitely in the
In
works.
the works, absolutely. And I think we forgot to mention you have the app too. People should download the app ahead of time and get signed up.
People should absolutely download the app. They'll check. We have our live tracker for our trains. There's ticket prices available. You can see where the stations are. It's fairly intuitive. Again, we can always there's always room for improvement, but it's a good place to start. It's where your experience should start. We'd much rather have you buy a ticket on the app than have to go and print a ticket and carry it around with you.
It's always interesting when I talk to I get to talk to so many leaders and things. One of the questions I like to ask is what is the favorite part of your job? If you could name one or something, what's one of the most favorite things that being over this gigantic enterprise? What's one of your favorite parts of the job?
Well, hands down, I spent 23 years in freight railroading. And, boxcars don't talk back. Boxcars really don't care, how you do. They don't care how your train is. But the people do. And in my 5 years in Austin and the brief period of time here, my favorite part is engaging with our customers and our passengers on the train and talking to the crews. And, you get great ideas from your conductors and engineers on how you can make your ride better. But, people here care. People on trains care. They want to be on time. They want to be clean. And they're not saying these things to you to be critical. They're saying these things to you because they want you to be successful. Everybody wants you to do better. And that's okay. We have an opportunity to do better. And that is by far my favorite part is coming out and engaging with, partners who kind of do the same thing we do. And the bus companies, like I said, you've got Miami-Dade, Broward County, and Palm Tran, and then my peers over at Brightline. We all kind of deal with the same kind of people, and I love dealing. I mean, it's they're not always happy with you, but there's a lot of great advice, and people have been wonderful.
Yeah, there is so much to do here. Whether you go to the Broward Center, the Arch Center, the Kravis Center, Museum of Discovery and Science, the list. I've been doing this for 6 years. I still am unearthing things to do and places to go, and we're glad Tri-Rail is part of it and what you all are doing. And I had a really good friend, my partner, didn't have a car, and it was his way to get to Miami for work, and that was what he used. If it had not been for Tri-Rail, he would not have had a way and the bus system to be able to do that and utilize that. So, and he has some cute videos of it, so we really appreciate that. Well, Dave, it's been fun talking to you. I'm excited for what's to come for the holidays. So we want to wrap up and let people know it is tri-rail.com is their website, so you can go to that. We are, of course, outclick.com, which is sometimes hard to spell, www.outclique.com. And again, come to South Florida. There is a million things to do. We're excited to have the state and our part of the state open again. And Dave, again, thank you for joining us today. And everyone, happy holidays and happy New Year.
Thank you very much.